Hi, and thanks for joining us as we share with you a little bit about Market Tax Services. I'm Rick Everett with Market Advisory Group, and along with me is Josh Sikora and Matt Goolsby, the managing partner with Market Advisory Group. Matt, how did Market Tax Services come to be?
Well, as a financial advisor, we found that when people would ask us, what was this going to do to their taxes? What should they withhold on a certain withdrawal? Because most people have saved in retirement accounts that have not had the taxes paid on IRAs and 401ks. As a financial advisor, our compliance department would tell us we are licensed to give investment advice only, not give the tax advice. So in our minds, it was only natural to partner with CPAs and tax professionals to help us give the complete advice that people were needing for their retirement plans.
Joshua Sikora is the lead CPA with Market Tax Services. Joshua, how is Market Advisory Group and Market Tax Services, how do they commingle?
We commingle by working together in the same room at the same time for a client. When clients come in with questions, we can address both the tax side and the financial side of a question at the same time and even play off of each other to get to a better answer than either of us could separately for a client.
Now, as you're seeing us, you may be wrapping up that degree or currently at a location as a CPA that you might be reconsidering a move. Joshua, what is the Market Tax Services difference?
I feel like we're different from a lot of other firms in that, one, not only do we work collaboratively with the financial advisors, but also we are very focused on working together as a team. We're never focused on whether an individual is succeeding or failing inside the firm. It's how we're performing as a team. We don't let any one person fail. We are all here to work together to win as a team.
Matt, we talk sometimes about cookie cutter types of things, and I would imagine a CPA firm is no different. There are probably cookie cutter type CPA firms. How is Market Tax Services different?
Well, when we experience a first time meeting with people we're helping just one-on-one, we'll oftentimes ask them, do you do your taxes online yourself? Or do you have a professional? And oftentimes they use a professional to prepare their taxes. But what we find when we're discussing with that individual, we find that they're not really getting any tax planning. They're just really getting people that are preparing their taxes to file. And as Joshua and his team of CPAs will oftentimes talk with the people we're helping in the conference room, the time to get tax advice is not necessarily during tax preparation season. There's not, as Joshua will say, a lot of levers left to pull. Yes, you can make an IRA contribution. Yes, you can do some different things, but most people can't itemize anymore because of the standard deduction. So they're not really getting tax forward planning for not just their retirement advice, but also the regular income that they're taking. But there might not be many options to do while they're working, but when it comes time for retirement, Social Security gets taxed a different way. If they have any capital gains, that can impact what rate they're paying there. Their income tax rates, Roth conversions. Joshua and his team at Market Tax Services are invaluable to us as investment advisors and the clients we help because they help us with tax planning, not just the tax preparation component.
Joshua, in the last handful of years, Market Tax Services has grown immensely. What are some of the different positions that are available at Market Tax Services?
Yeah, we're always on the lookout for people who are good with numbers, and that can really present itself in a couple different ways. We're needing people who are good at putting financials together, whether that's through the bookkeeping, whether that's through putting together formal financial statements. We're looking for someone who likes to work with businesses on that day-to-day accounting, which then can also segue into payroll. Businesses have people that work for them, and they have payroll needs, so we need people to be able to help our clients with that. And then the other track would be on the tax side. People who can either work with businesses, work with individuals, putting tax returns together, which then can even turn into tax advising outside of tax season.
Now, does a person necessarily need to be degreed as a CPA to come to work for Market Tax Services?
Absolutely not. In order to become a CPA, you need to have the experience to meet the licensing requirements, and we are happy to work with people to develop that experience to become more valuable in what they're doing, and then enable them to be able to sit for the licensing exams.
Matt, how does Market Tax Services help their employees as far as continuing their education?
Well, Joshua and his team have a number of different programs for individuals that might have an accounting degree or an accounting background, and they don't have all the necessary classes for that. They'll do a tuition reimbursement plan. They also have a plan for people that are just wanting to become an EA, which is an enrolled agent, which is not quite a full CPA, but there's all kinds of different things that him and his team do, along with their vice president, Lana, that help the people that want to invest in themselves to better themselves, to continue that path and grow with the company.
Joshua, let's see if I've retained all the different opportunities you mentioned and the things you do at Market Tax Services. So you provide payroll services, you provide tax preparations, tax planning, as well as maintaining books for different companies.
Correct.
Have I left anything out?
No, I think that really covers everything. And I think an important thing to highlight is that once you move into one of these positions, you're not locked in there. If you get into bookkeeping and want to explore how tax works, we can definitely look into that as well.
Matt, share with us a little bit about how advancement at Market Tax Services works. For an employee that comes on board, are there those opportunities for advancement?
We like to think so. I mean, if some people are very happy with the tasks they've been assigned to, but then other people that want more, we're always looking, like I said, to invest in them, whether that's tuition reimbursement or learning a new path. I know Hannah specifically, Hannah used to work at Brahms, and now Hannah's on her path to becoming an enrolled agent this next year, and she actually has some previous experience at another tax firm as well. Listari, she's working on her accounting degree, and she's going to become a CPA with you guys here soon. So there's a lot of different growth potential opportunities for people that want to better themselves and grow with the company. And we're a rapidly growing company. You guys will do 3,000 tax returns just this season. I mean, I guess that would be the 2021 season, right?
That's right.
So, and then you guys have expanded your offices, not just in Wichita, but up to Kansas City area, the Independence, Missouri area as well. And you guys were really flourishing with not only adding clients, but also merging with people that are retiring their books.
That's right. We're constantly in a growth mode, and we need lots of people to help out with that.
Matt, if you could share with us some of the benefits of coming to work for Market Tax Services.
We'll be going to Vegas this year after tax season, so that's always a fun thing. We started that last year, and we wanted to do that this year. We're negotiating maybe potentially a suite at Intrust Bank Arena for hockey games and concerts. We rented a suite last year at the Wichita Wind Surge. We like doing the team building activities, and we work really hard, but we like to play hard as well, and we want to reap and share. We want to reap the rewards together, but we also want to share those rewards together as well.
Safe to say you bring people in at a very competitive wage and offer benefits that can include health insurance as well as paid time off.
And tuition reimbursement. That's a big one while people are still going to school. We want to make sure you guys are aware of that. Do you know what that dollar amount is, Joshua? It's somewhere over $4,000, right?
I believe this year it's $5,250.
Well, there you have it. A CPA giving me the exact numbers, and that's why we work so well together with coordinating that together. But we want to make sure that as people are wanting to invest in their education, we believe in that too, and we want to support that because we're only as good as everyone that works here on the team, and we want to make sure we're always fostering that environment and improving our team together.
I'm Rick Everett, along with Matt Goolsby of Market Advisory Group and Joshua Sikora of Market Tax Services. And if you'd like to learn more about our opportunities, please go online to markettaxservices.com, or we'll be back with more right after this. Hi, we're continuing to share with you a little bit about Market Tax Services. I'm Rick Everett of Market Advisory Group, along with lead CPA Joshua Sikora of Market Tax Services and managing partner of Market Advisory Group, Matt Goolsby. Guys, thanks for being with us again. And Joshua, I want to talk to you a little bit about the different positions that you may be hiring for at Market Tax Services. Obviously, if somebody has their CPA already, that's good. We have an idea of what those folks would be doing, but what are some of the other positions at Market Tax Services?
Sure. Outside of CPAs, who would be more of the subject matter expert we're looking for, we're also looking for people who don't necessarily have a credential or want to go chase that. We need lots of bookkeepers and payroll experts that work with clients to make sure that their business runs smoothly. We need people who even if they're not credentialed, they still want to do taxes, and that's absolutely fine. We need lots of help in those areas, and whether you have that credential yet or not, or even if you're interested in obtaining that or not, we'd love to talk to you and see if we have a place where we could work together.
Now, I'm guessing you weren't born with the letters CPA behind your name. How did you get into the business?
Yeah, so I started out working actually as an engineering degree and figured out that that's not what I wanted. And so I kind of drifted around a little bit and got involved in mortgage lending and found that I had a knack there for figuring out how numbers flowed together and then explaining that back to people. And surprise, surprise, that's a lot of what we do in taxes is getting answers. The computer tells us how the return comes out. And then we have to then turn around and use our knowledge to explain to a client why the answers are what they are and what they can do to get a different answer. And so that really kind of dovetailed with what I seem to have a knack for. So then I pursued my accounting degree, and then from there went on for the CPA exams.
How have you seen the industry change in the time that you've been involved?
The industry's changed in a couple different ways. One is that it's been forced to change because of new tax laws, new regulations, things of that nature. And then technology has caused the industry to change too. When I got started, there was no such thing as virtual tax preparation. And now we service clients from all around the country, both because we have offices located in different areas, and then also people connect to us over the internet, submit documents to us that way, and then we can have them sign returns all through the same channel.
Matt, at Market Tax Services, there's something for everyone, whether it's the person that's more comfortable being in the cubicle and running the numbers, or maybe that person that is a little more outgoing and wants to interact more.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, we're sitting here in our studios here in Wichita, and we're recording this. We actually have several weekly programs that we will do. Retire Hour is one. Joshua is brought in for a tax segment on there, and you help me cover the tax changes or things that people need to be paying attention to in retirement, tax topic wise. We also have a weekly show that you host, Rick, as far as called Eye on Retirement. It's on KWCH Channel 12, on Cake as well on some Sunday nights. And we've got several other shows that we're working on. And not typically is the accountant personality maybe comfortable in front of a camera or in front of a microphone, but we do have those opportunities here as well for educating people out there that have questions on these topics or want to stay in the know with these topics. And as we have people come along that show interest in that, we're actually training some people now to make sure that they can come on and talk about these topics that people might want to know more about. And we also have other things planned down the way and working on, but we're growing as a firm, and not just as the tax firm, the advisory group firm, the Medicare group, or the estate planning component as well, but also the multimedia version as well.
Now, that brings up a very interesting topic or opportunity, if you will. As Joshua mentioned, when he got his start, he actually hadn't gone to school immediately to become a CPA. And I think a lot of us end up maybe not following the exact path we started off on. At Market Tax Services, let's say an employee gets in here and they find that they have a real desire to learn more about financial planning, or perhaps they feel called to go to work in the Medicare field, helping people with Medicare through Medicare Advisors. Are there opportunities outside of Market Tax Services if somebody gets in here and feels they might be better suited, or we find that they might be better acclimated to perform in different areas.
Yeah, you're so right. I'm glad you mentioned that because that's true. We're, as a growing firm, not just on the tax side, but the advisory group, the Medicare division, the estate planning group, there are so many opportunities. We have another group that we're anticipating starting up here soon with human resource services as well. And we want to make sure that if anyone wants to transfer within the company or maybe transfer to another office or another location, those are always options that we want to talk to them about. And if they do have a passion for a different department or a different field, then yes, we of course would love to talk with them about the different opportunities that we may have in another area. And you know, you and I were talking at the break, Joshua, that there's not really a typical day when it comes time for the tax practice, as far as it's always a little different, whether that's you coming into meetings with us as the advisors or whether that's you during tax season. I mean, that's somewhat routine, but even that can be a little bit of a different thing every day, right?
Yeah, that's absolutely right. So during tax season, yeah, for the most part, it's either putting tax forms together, meeting with clients to talk about the forms I've put together, or sitting down with somebody to get the process started. But then once we get outside of tax season, it can vary quite a bit. Sometimes it's continuing education, sometimes it's staff development, sometimes it's sitting down with clients, you know, at a table with you and talking about their retirement goals, things of that nature, which is really an interesting situation because you don't necessarily know what you're going to be getting into tax-wise, and you might have a set of things that people usually like to talk about, but you know, there's been many times it's taken a hard left turn and we end up talking about some other piece of taxes.
Well, and you said it in the first segment so well, though. If you get into an area that you don't know, not necessarily you, because you know quite a bit of everything, but if anyone here in the group gets into an area they don't know, we always have the team to come back and rely on and work together to make sure none of us fail. And we really pride ourselves on taking that team approach because we always want to build each other up and make sure that everyone wins. Because when everyone wins, we all win, and we again, like I mentioned previously, we want to share that growth and that reward.
Matt, Market Advisory Group, Market Tax Services, we're both, if you will, born here in Wichita, but you mentioned other locations. Where are the other offices?
Right now there's one in the south area of Kansas City, Prairie Village, but that'll be looking to move soon, relocate, stay in the south area of Kansas City, probably over to Leawood. And then in Independence, Missouri, we have a firm up there by the Costco. We like to say that because everyone knows where the Costco is if you're familiar with that area. But we're looking at several other firms to merge with as well. And again, with that rapidly growing trajectory with the tax firm and the advisory group, we've considered other practices outside the Kansas City metro area as well, but we're not quite ready to talk about those.
Guys, we've covered a lot of territory in a very short amount of time, and we've talked about benefits, the benefits of insurance or paid time off. Let's talk a little bit about the perks. What are some of the perks of coming to work, Matt, at Market Tax Services?
Well, the snack bar, of course. I mean, you guys giggle, but when you walk in here in the Wichita office, it looks like what I wanted originally envisioned was when you've ever gone to a Marriott and they have that little kiosk there with the refrigerators and the chips and the snacks and the fruit. But we always want to make sure that if anyone's hungry or wants a snack, whether that's a client or one of the team members, you can go by there and pick up something to munch on and tie you over until the next time. But another perk is like you mentioned, paid time off. For every year you accrue here, you get a week time off. And then, of course, we have some flexible hours, so we do need that set, though, on a certain time. And then, of course, we like to have fun together. Like I mentioned, we've gone to baseball games. We did a Chiefs game one year, and then we're looking at other perks as well. But we wanna make sure we're having fun along with working hard.
On behalf of Matt Goolsby and Joshua Sikora, I'm Rick Everett. Thanks for being with us.
Taxes should be simple, an easy thing to manage. Unfortunately for most people, taxes are fraught with difficult questions and confusing situations. How do you get from here to there? You choose a guide to help you navigate the correct path, getting you to the place where you have confidence in your decisions and what lies ahead. In our current world, laws, tax rates, and regulations change frequently. You know the saying, jack of all trades? The second and lesser known half of this common phrase is master of none. It's nearly impossible for a lone tax professional to know how every change and adjustment will affect their clients. That is why it is crucial to work with a team of professionals, each dedicated to understanding their part of the tax spectrum. Each member of our team has years of experience in their field and knows how to work with the other members. Together, they look beyond the return and help prepare their clients for the many aspects of taxes. That is why, at Market Tax Services, you can count on us.